Thank you for listening to this episode of the Decade Parade. If you like what you hear, then please consider supporting the show by leaving us a review on iTunes or other related podcast services. And also consider sharing the show with your friends and family. You can also follow the Decade Parade on Twitter at The Decade Parade or on Facebook and Instagram. You can also email us on thedecadeparade@gmail.com with any thoughts or opinions you might have regarding the show. Thanks again for your continued support, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, welcome to episode 11 of the Decade Parade, and this month we're going to do a bit different. This one is going to be called the recap, and basically what we're going to start doing, or attempt to start doing, is split the episodes in two, essentially. So the recap's going to be old and new. We'll go over what we've been doing recently, recapping just general life, and recapping what happened 10 years ago across the whole month of whatever month we do it. So this month, November, 10 years ago. And then the second episode will be the highlight.
The actual game itself, yeah. Because we think this way it'll help you guys basically cut through the bullshit that you don't actually want to hear.
You know what? If you don't want to listen to the actual game part,
yeah. If you don't want to if you don't care about what's been going on in our lives, and you just want the game, then by all means just go straight to the second episode.
Plus, it makes us feel better because it looks like we're getting more downloads on the actual statistics.
Yeah, there's that too. Oh man.
But yeah, apart from that, we'll crack on.
Yeah, apart from that, it'd just be business as usual, really. Oh, man.
But before we get to all that, we go over what we've been doing recently.
Yeah, just a quick little chit-chat about what's been going on in our dull, pathetic lives.
Yep, so what have you been up to, Liam?
I've actually wrote down top points this time, because I feel like we always have like a lot of stuff to talk about. We never actually mention half of it. But yeah, it's been a really busy month, November, for like not just games, for like a lot of stuff in general. We've had the Stadia release, we've had Death Stranding, we've had Star Wars, we've had Disney Plus.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like the big topic of this month is, as we've been talking about it a few times in the podcast, is we finally had the Stadia release this month.
Do we have to talk about this?
Yeah, it's been a big part of our lives, and I feel like we owe it to the listeners because they've had to put up with us just chatting shit about it for a few episodes.
No, we've been hyping. Well, we're saying we've been looking forward to it, and then literally at the 11th hour, the night before launch,
literally days before we were due to get it,
I'd been. Did you get charged?
Yeah, but then it got refunded back into it.
I've not been refunded yet.
It was in my pending payments,
right, okay.
But then it never actually properly came out.
So yeah, I've been charged, but I hadn't dispatched anything.
Yeah.
Fucking night before launch.
It's ridiculous. We were both talking to each other like a few days before we were due to get it, and we were just like, Tim was basically telling me that basically Google lied about some things, basically.
They lied and misled.
Very misleading. Yeah,
I've got screenshots of stuff all over the place from what they've said, like pre-order the Founders Edition for guaranteed access at launch, and yet we're getting on for nearly a week after. There's still people without controllers, Chromecast bundles,
codes,
or even the codes to access Stadia. It's just a mess, man. But then now they're saying something different. Oh, we're going through orders in like the order that was pre-ordered, basically.
Yeah, so basically first come, first serve.
That's not what you said, though.
No, it is a bit like...
You own one of the biggest email platforms in the world, and you're finding it really difficult to send an email with a code on to access.
I know.
It's like, come on, sort it out.
What was it? There was talk about some games not being like 4K as well.
That's one of my biggest things where people are ripping into it the most. Obviously, like Destiny apparently is running at 1080p, but it's upscaled to 4K on Stadia.
Yeah.
Red Dead's running at 1440p, upscaled again, same as PS4 Pro basically. I think it's only running at 30 frames per second on the Chromecast.
Yeah,
whereas if you play it on a browser, it's running at 1080p because all the Chrome browser, when you play through that, everything's limited to 1080p for now. But then it plays at 60 frames per second on there. So it's all a bit weird. But I put that more down to the developers, not Stadia.
I would say it's very easy to say, like, you know, it's literally the first week of Stadia's release. There's going to be problems.
But the thing is, now people are actually getting it. More and more people are jumping on it. Go to the Stadia subreddit, people are loving it.
Yeah.
Like the platform works.
Mm.
It works. There's not been anybody that's had any like serious problems. Obviously, there's a bit of lag here and there every now and then, but it's not. For the most part, people say it's not unplayable. Even the ones with the problems. Everyone else who hasn't had any problems say it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
and especially being able to switch between screens from your TV straight to your phone or tablet or whatever. It's absolutely unbelievable. So. At the end of it, I'm still going to jump on it at some point.
Oh yeah, same. But we're just not as into the idea of getting it like as soon as it launched anymore. We're just going to wait till the general.
I cancelled just because of Google's bullshit lying.
Yeah, and I pretty much cancelled because all this stuff you were telling me.
If it weren't for that, if they'd just been honest up front and saying, you know what, because of Rockstar, like Red Dead's not running at 4K, but it's running at there. If they'd just said and been honest, I would have been like, right, fair enough.
Right.
At least you've acknowledged it. It makes it seem like you're going to try and fix the problem at least, even if you're not going to say you are going to fix the problem, or you're going to try and negotiate with Rockstar to fix the problem. But at least they're acknowledging it and they've been upfront. But to just, it's like they've gone completely silent about it, even with all the shit that's been going on. The code's not right. They just weren't acknowledging anybody. And I'm just glad I didn't bother to be honest.
It's just one of those things where you think like they're just ignoring all the complaints and just so they can focus on actually trying to get it sorted. But it's not the like the PR approach you need really.
Yeah.
But again, I don't feel like I've missed out on anything by not getting it straight away.
No,
I'm still going to get it as you said, but just not as soon as it's the first week of its release. That's all.
Yeah.
So I can just dedicate more time. I hope that at least the Cyberpunk Stadia versions. I
think
at least bang on.
Yeah, I think by the time Cyberpunk, what is it, April? Cyberpunk?
Yeah, just before my birthday.
Yeah, I think by the time that comes out, I think it'll be in a much better position. And if anyone's going to push it, it's going to be CD Projekt Red.
Struggle to remember the name of it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh shit, am I saying that right?
One of the most beloved developers in gaming history.
Yeah, brain fat. But yeah, oh shit, knocking that over.
It's alright, it's only my phone, that's him.
Yeah, it's alright.
So I'll just throw it on the floor, fuck it.
But yeah, I think obviously Borderlands is coming out next month, well, at some point before the end of the year. Rage 2 is still coming before the end of the year. There's still some really big titles still to come to Stadia.
Oh yeah, easy. Outer Worlds,
and I
kinds.
think with the teething problems, see what happens. They might have just not wanted to put it on at launch, but give themselves a bit extra time to make sure it's polished.
Well, see, that's it now. It's out in the wild now. A lot more problems are being brought to them so they can get it fixed in time. Because there's only so much you can do with like your inside team.
That's the thing though. The main problems are on the developer side and just the lack of just giving a shit about porting a decent port to Stadia. Actual Stadia, apart from its lacking features, there's nothing really wrong with it. It works.
Yeah.
As long as you've got a decent internet, which is obvious. I mean,
I know if you're gonna get a console that's based on streaming,
exactly,
then you need a good internet.
Anybody moaning about just look at all this lag and stuff, and then you ask them what they're using, it's like Wi-Fi on the other side of the house.
Dial-up modem.
It's like, well, there you go. There's your problem. Just I know they've advertised it to play anywhere, this and that and whatever, but
that's on the assumption that you've actually got a decent internet, which pretty much everyone should have at this point.
If you're in the right area.
Well, yeah, but even like the very basic of internet packages are pretty decent these days.
Yeah. But anyway, that's enough about fucking
Stadia or fucking. You won't have to listen to us talk about that shit anymore.
What have you been playing?
As I mentioned, actually, the same time you got Death Stranding, I bought Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and I pretty much ranted and raved to you about how good it was, at least in terms of performance, because I got the PC version.
Yeah.
I mean, because my PC is like just touching like 6 years old now, I was actually
skeptical.
I was skeptical. I would have gotten the PS4 version, but because I heard so many things about like technical issues on the console versions of this game, I thought, you know what, I'll risk play even if I have to play it on like between like having a mixed batch of like medium and low and high settings on my PC. I thought it'll probably still look pretty decent.
Yeah.
But I went on it and my God, like I feel like the PC version is so optimized. Like apart from having it running in 4K resolution, I was able to have everything on like max setting, and even though it's not in 4K, it looks brilliant. Like it's been a long time since I've seen such a good looking game. But yeah, it's optimized really well for the PC, and the gameplay itself is real. I heard everyone say that you should play it on the the master setting, which is like just the difficulty, the second highest difficulty.
Yeah.
And I play on it because it's got a very it's basically this Jedi game. It's basically Dark Souls, but in like a Star Wars setting. Like it's got everything. It's got like there's these spots called like meditation spots, which is basically like the bonfires in Dark Souls. Like when you rest at them, you get all your health back, and all the enemies respawn.
Yeah.
Why all the enemies respawn? They never actually explain it, but it's Star Wars. You can just boil it down to the Force or some stupid bullshit like that. Like every movie seems to do these days.
It feels like Star Wars fucking canon crap is kind of like out the window at this point.
It is.
Really
Since Star Wars got into Disney's hands, I feel like it's kind of gone off the rails a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the combat's good. There's a lot of mix like abilities you can use. There's you can actually like reflect blaster shots as a shot. If you do like a perfect parry, like what's called a parry on the blaster bullets, you can reflect it back at the enemies. You can parry sword attacks as they come, like melee attacks as they come at you, so it leaves them open to like a big very like cinematic like finisher type move.
Yeah.
You get like a little droid. There's like a little droid on your back. He gives you little stim packs, which is basically like your Estus from Dark Souls. It's like each level. It's not open world. Like each planet's like a self-contained like mini sandbox kind of thing.
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider like outer worldy-esque.
Yeah.
Saying that this game's like a Dark Souls thing, it's also very similar to like Uncharted as well. Like there's a lot of like platforming and like wall scaling and stuff like that. So it's a very interesting mix, and it actually all works well. Like there's you can actually throw in like some of your moves like with the platforming as well, so it does work well. But yeah, I put about 4 hours into it so far, and honestly I've not found anything to mourn at about it apart from the story feels like every single Star Wars story that we've seen so far. It's like they do not know how to mix it up anymore since it got into Disney's hands.
I think they're just too scared.
They're playing it too safe.
Yeah, at the same time, it's like when anything is crap with Star Wars, Star Wars fans still seem to love it. They kind of like,
I don't know.
They kind of like accept it for its flaws, regardless of whether how bad it is.
In terms of like Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I've seen a lot of people like rip into that. In terms of Rogue One and Solo, they've not been so negative about it.
Yeah,
especially with Rogue One, because I thought Rogue One was brilliant.
I've still not seen Solo myself.
Have you not?
No,
it's not amazing, but it's still better than the other two friggin' movies. Which is why
I like the new trilogy. I don't mind it.
You're...
I was never a massive Star Wars fan though.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
So it was kind of like watching that was kind of like.
But you never watched any of the original movies, did you?
I watched them before the new one come. Well, the Force Awakens.
What, all 6 of them?
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
But then, obviously, watching it now all together like that, I was like, meh, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. Like I said, I think I mentioned it a few times in this podcast that any Star Wars story not revolving around.
I mean, Force Awakens is just practically episode 4.
It is, so. And Last Jedi was just God. I could do an entire podcast about the things I thought was wrong with The Last Jedi, which is why all these problems like accumulating together is why I'm not really looking forward to the new movie, which is coming out soon. I'll still watch it just to say like I've finished the trilogy.
Yeah, you have to. That's the problem with this though.
Yeah,
it's like everyone's like, "Oh, vote with your wallet if you don't like it and stuff." But
you feel like you feel like you've come this far. You have to finish it. Like, don't get me wrong, it might not be bad. Like they might
like watching all the Marvel films and not watching Endgame.
Endgame, I know. Like just say, like, yeah, you know what? I can put the pieces together myself. What's going to happen? But who knows? It might be good. They might redeem it. It might be like a good conclusion to everything. But judging by what I saw in Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I'm very skeptical about watching this last one. But yeah,
on the topic of Star Wars though, what do you make of Mandalorian? I've only watched the first episode so far, so saying that, no spoilers anyway.
We're definitely not gonna spoil it.
Technically, it's not out in the UK.
After acquiring it through definitely legitimate legal means, I thought, I watched episode 1 and 2. I've not watched the third one yet, and I think it's good. I think it's some of the best Star Wars stuff I've seen since, Rogue One, really.
Yeah.
Again, because it's not focused on like this big battle between good and evil of the Jedi. So we're a lot more in like the nitty gritty of like the underworld.
I've heard the second episode is much better than the first.
Oh yeah. The second episode is good. Like how again, no spoilers, but how they ended it is it opens up so much like potential. I feel so.
Right.
I'm really excited to see where they go with that series.
Good.
Yeah. Another big game of this month was some little game by the name of Death Stranding. I feel like you have a lot more to say about this game than I have because you actually played it.
Yeah.
So what did you think of it?
Considering, well, I waited a week, I weren't going to get it, and then
Yeah,
I cracked.
I was the same. I feel like if Star Wars didn't come along, I probably would have gotten Death Stranding, but I'm still going to get it, but I'm just waiting for the PC version instead. But since you've actually got your hands on it, what do you think of it?
I absolutely love it.
Do you?
The more I play, the more I love it.
Right.
And I didn't expect this at all. Like, even my expectations were pretty low. Like, I knew kind of what the game was.
Yeah.
You know, not to expect much or anything like that. So I thought, whatever. Seen reports of like 50, 60 hours long, which apparently now from people actually playing it, they say, no, it's about 30, 35. But then again, it depends on what you want to do.
I've seen people say that they spent about, because the game's split up into chapters as far as I know, that I've seen some people say like they spent like close to like 20 hours just on one chapter alone.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that's if you just go out and do everything.
I'm on episode 3 now,
right?
Which is like, it's where it opens up a lot. You go to like a new place. And
again, no spoilers, but I have heard something about like you shouldn't really bother too much with anything before chapter 2.
Yeah, I mean, I did a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once I started seeing that, I was like, right, I'm just going to pretty much, I'd realised I was practically finished with episode 2 anyway. I'd gone all the way back to the beginning to do some other deliveries. And then I was like, right, I'll go back now because I missed the actual checkpoint that I was supposed to go to. I didn't notice it until I'd gone all the way back to the beginning, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But, yeah, so I was pretty much done with it anyway, about 6-7 hours just in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Which is, I'd say, is about right. I've seen some people say they spent about 10 to 20 hours in that.
I've seen some very like varying like game lengths.
That's it. It all depends on what you want to do and how you play it, and like. You get a bike in the first couple of things as well. It's not really a spoiler. You stumble across a bike, and it's like, I kind of fucked mine up to the point it was just like
you just drive off a cliff. Is that it?
And it kept saying, "Oh, you can repair it at the garage," and I'm like, I don't know where the garage is. Like I drove it to somewhere. I'm like, I'm driving it around thinking, "Oh, that's the garage." No, it's not doing anything. But anyway, so it took me a bit longer, I think, because I was literally just trekking on foot.
Right.
And there's definitely some places you have to trek on foot anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I absolutely love it.
So the big question about this game is it basically just a walking simulator?
No.
Right.
Honestly, the more I play of it now, and the more I see people saying that, it fucks me off. Honestly, it's not a walking simulator. It's just not. A walking simulator is where you do literally nothing. You walk, and a story is fed to you.
Yeah.
If that. Like, that's it. This is not that.
Yeah.
You have weapons. You have. That's it, really. No, like obviously there's all the inventory management. There is stats, not necessarily you put it in, so I wouldn't say it's RPG style stuff.
Right.
But it's just the strand element of it.
Right. You mean the supernatural shit?
No, the connecting with other people.
Right. Okay.
It's absolutely brilliant. And
I've heard that's one of the high points of the game.
It is. I'm getting to the point now. Episode 3 is where it opens up. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm seeing a lot of things from other people and how it really works. Not like at the beginning, it's really basic. It's just like, oh, someone's put a ladder down here or a rope or just a bridge. And it's pretty much, that's it. And a few structures like a post box or something. Episode 3, like, I've literally only just started episode 3 really. I'm probably about 2, 3, 4 hours in or something like that. And even that's just blown up. It's massive. I've just got like some basic weapons and stuff like that, which are really fun, more fun than I expected, and it completely changes how you deal with. Obviously, there's the mules that try to steal your cargo, and then there's the BTs. That's pretty much it. It's so hard to describe what it is.
That's a Kojima game for you.
That's why it's people are just calling it a walking simulator, because you can't. It's one of them you have to play. So,
having played this game, what do you think when you look at both sides of like the praise and the criticisms? You've got some people calling it the absolute best, brilliant game ever, but then you've got other people, as we've just been talking about, who say it's just a walking simulator, nothing but cutscenes.
Yeah, those people have probably not got past
The first few chapters.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that, like people who are slagging this game off have clearly not got past like chapter 4 or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm on chapter 3 and I've seen how much it's just blown open. Even when you just get into chapter 3, you don't really realise it. It's only when you start connecting a few other points and then it all starts popping up because things only appear from other players when you connect to you put it back on the network, so to speak, or whatever it is. And then it's that only now it's starting to pop up after like a couple hours into chapter 3. But it is absolutely brilliant. It's not a walking simulator.
No,
really.
So having not played it myself, from what I've seen reading like user reviews and reviews like that, like it's weird because I've seen reviews who have given it like a 10 or a 9, but at the same time said it's like there's some bits in the game that are so like really boring, like it feels like it's dragged out and it's very annoying. It's like you can't say that about a game but also give it like a 9.5. But then on the other end of the spectrum, you got people saying like oh yeah, it's nothing but cutscenes and stuff like that, and it's like
I really want to go to some of the reviews that have said, "Oh, it's nothing but walking sim, it's boring and whatnot." I want to go to the reviews and see who's done it, and I want to see what trophies they've got.
Right.
Because Colin Moriarty said this on his podcast because they really like it, Colin and Chris and whatnot, and he said you can find reviewers bullshit out now easier than ever because if they say, "Oh, blah blah blah," like this about this, so it's only a walking sim. You can literally go to the trophies and see how far they've actually got in the game.
Yeah.
They can't hide it anymore.
No. It's there for the whole world to see now.
I'm going to go and have a look at that, at some of these shit reviews, and I'm going to go and see how much they've actually played and what trophies they've got. Because I guarantee you, the most of the ones, obviously there's going to be some big Kojima game. It's been hyped for God knows how long. Some are going to use it as a clickbait thing on some of these shitty websites. But I think just saying it's a walking sim is such a disjustice.
Like the general impression I get is while it's not a game for everyone, it's definitely not as basic as a lot of people are making it out to be.
God, no, not by a long shot. And I've said this the other day to someone. As much as I absolutely love it, and the more I play it, I'm like adoring it. I still wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Which is a weird thing to say.
I know, I get what you mean.
But I get that it's not. It's like No Man's Sky. I absolutely loved it,
but a lot of people didn't.
But I wouldn't have recommended it to anyone because I know that that's not what the vast majority of people do.
It is a very niche type of audience that it's aiming for.
But it does make me laugh though. People can say, he's invented a new genre. It's not really.
Not really, no.
It's kind of what the From Software games have done.
Yeah.
He's just kind of blown it up on a big scale. He's not invented anything.
No, he's not created something entirely new.
No, but he's done it in a way where it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm definitely looking forward to playing it, but I feel like I'm fine just waiting for the PC version at this point. Especially with how good the game looks and like...
Son of a bitch.
It's fine.
I thought you were going to get it for free anyway.
I'm still waiting. Have you
asked?
I've asked. She said she'll do it, but I don't want to push her because I feel cheeky enough asking her for it in the first place.
I'll just get Star Wars finished and then be like,
yeah,
come on, I'm waiting.
Just bring her up and like, so that little favour I asked. But yeah.
Anything else you played? I played Pokemon.
What do you think of it? I'm seeing loads of bad reviews about it, just in terms of like how limited it feels, like in terms of like Pokemon you get and like features and stuff like that.
To be honest, the first like 10, 20 minutes, I mean, to be honest, I've played about, I've not played much at all. An hour, 2 between that. It batters you over the head with just constant dialogue. I'm like, I know what all this is. You're just repeating the same shit.
It's the same story from every other Pokemon game.
Let me go and catch Pokemon. But I've got to the wild area, the first wild area, which is the open areas that you have now.
Yeah.
And I just can't be bothered. It's just not.
It's not as.
It's not exciting.
Addictive as it is normally.
No, it's just like caught some Pokemon. Some of them look cool. Some of the new ones, and I'm just sat there thinking, I can't really bother with playing this. The new Civ DLC's come out on the Switch instead, so I'm like, I might just go and get that and use that as my Switch go-to game at the minute. Yeah, because I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for the DLC to come to the Switch version just to get Civ on the Switch. So now it's there.
What else have I done? I got Resident Evil 2, the remake, on PC because it went up for sale for about 14 quid.
Did
So
you
I
not
thought-
get it at the beginning of the year?
No, I wanted to, but I thought, you know what, I'll leave it. And I'm glad I did, because now I've got it for like I said, £14. I got it again on PC, because when I got it, I thought, you know what, if my PC is capable of playing Star Wars as good as it is, I thought, and I've seen loads of good reviews like on Steam about like universal acclaim kind of reviews, and I thought normally when you see stuff like that on Steam, it means that it runs well. So like, you know what, I'll try it, I'll risk it. So for £14, it's like I'm missing out on much.
Yeah.
And I did it, and yeah, it runs smooth as butter, like it really does, and it's so fun. Like it's it's so scary. I've had so many. I've put about 3 hours into it so far, and I've had so many jump scares on it. It's not even anything like built up to anything. It's just like usually like zombies coming around the corner, and I don't realize it. It's like, oh shit.
I was game sharing with someone, and he actually got it, so I tried a bit of it when it come out, and I've never played the originals, to be honest. Never played any Resident Evil. It's just not my thing, because I'm a big pussy. But I actually started getting into it. I liked it, even though I didn't really know what I was doing. But yeah, I just kind of stopped.
But yeah, I know about all that, like that Mr. X bullshit and stuff like that, and I'm dreading getting to that moment, because I just know I'm not good at these like hiding from enemies kind of games like you get with like Amnesia and stuff like that. Yeah, I've never been good at it. I get too scared.
Same. I'm really not.
I always end up hiding in the corner, and then I'm too scared to actually move again in case it's there.
Yeah, I'm much more of a Dead Space horror kind of where you just
where you've actually got enough. Yeah, we've actually got enough weapons to deal with the problem.
It shits you up, but then you
can deal with it.
It's kind of just a fight, like
yeah. With stuff like that, it's like if you get spotted, it's either fight or flight, but you can't fight it anyway. So
but
I think that's it for our general banter. And is there anything else you could think of that you've done or that's happened this month?
Started watching The Crown.
Oh, my girlfriend started watching that as well.
The first season.
Yeah. Right from the beginning, yeah.
Obviously, the third one's just come out. So we saw it and we was like, oh, shall we start that? Because we was going to start Downton Abbey. Yeah.
Oh, she's just finished that as well, just before the movie came out.
Yeah. Well, we've never watched either. But then we saw The Crown stuff and we was like, oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Let's start that. It's actually really enjoying it.
Good. That's the main thing.
It was off on one day off work and we was child-free. So we just kind of like sat in bed all day and just
binge The Crown.
Yeah, which is like the longest time since we've been able to do anything like that.
I now know more about the royal family than I ever thought I ever would know.
No, it's actually brilliant. I was like, I wasn't expecting it to be.
I have sat in the room with Charlotte my girlfriend while she's been watching The Crown. It does look good.
Yeah, highly recommend. Well, the first season so far, what I've watched, it might turn to shit after. But yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about it, so
yeah. And thing is out this month as well. Season 4 of Rick and Morty. I've not started watching that yet.
Not known.
It is. It's not on Netflix yet, but I know it is on all 4, so I might have to check that out.
I've not. Final Space is coming to Netflix as well.
Yeah, season 2. Week. Still not finished season 1 yet.
Have you not?
No, I really.
You're joking.
I'm joking. I'm not really. I've not. It's one of those things where I've not got around to watching it because I just keep piling up like new stuff to watch instead. Don't look at me like that.
Fucking A, man.
I know. It's like I've got so much games to play. I've got so much stuff to watch. I've just not got time to do all of them.
You know what you do? Quit your job.
Yeah, quit my job. Become a full-time streamer.
Just get tits out.
This is why I need you guys to really blow this podcast up. I don't want to work anymore.
Yeah, we just want to lounge around in our.
We just want to lounge around in our fucking underpants and play games.
Yeah, please help us.
Please help us.
Let us achieve our goal.
Let us live the best life, please.
What else have I watched? Witcher's coming and all that as well, innit? Yeah, blah blah blah. Everyone knows.
Everyone knows that, Christ. Yeah, I think that's it for general banter. Yeah. I feel like that's probably the longest we've gone with general banter.
Yeah, probably.
It's probably...
I bet it's not. But moving on, we now go on to what came out 10 years ago in the month of November.
Yeah, so a quick little recap. This is basically the part where we look at the list of games that we had to pick from last month, and we just give a quick little recap of what we think of it if we do know anything about it, because a lot of these is like stuff we've never even heard of.
There's actually a lot this month. I've cut a lot off this list again.
Yeah,
but obviously it's the end of the year.
I was remembering like there wasn't much choice for this month, but looking at it again, there was a lot. I know. Actually,
we should have picked something else.
I know. No, I quite enjoyed that. Our choice for this month. It was a laugh. It was different as well.
Yeah, but we'll get to that in the future. So November the 1st. Rabbids Go Home on the Wii and DS.
Is that just like the other Rabbids game where it's kind of like Mario
I don't
Party?
know.
I've never actually looked into what a Rabbids game is.
No, I left it on because I feel like it's always around and it's relevant.
All I remember is that they did the Rayman Rabbids game at the first one. It blew up, kind of like how like a similar effect that Minions had on people. And then they just made nothing but Rabbids game for ages until they finally made Rayman Origins, like returning to the glory days.
I feel like I know more of the piggyback Rabbids games than the official Rabbids games.
You mean the
Rayman Rabbids? And then
you mean the Mario one, yeah,
Mario
right?
Than any of the official just Rabbids games.
Didn't they make like a Rabbids like TV show as well? Like
there is something.
Yeah, something similar. Like they tried to bring it to
the
TV.
cutscenes in the games are pretty high production for a kid's animation. If you know what I mean. So it makes sense. It's practically done. But yeah. Anyway, moving on.
November. I don't know why you've added this one. November the 3rd, Food Network Cook or Be Cooked.
I like just leaving.
Does that imply that you're getting chased around by some giant like giant cook who's trying to kill you?
I like just a more when I saw it. Well, I like leaving some on the list that just
sound funny,
just to throw you off, just to see your face or what your reaction is to it. But looking at that, I like to think that it's just a realistic version of Overcooked. And like Gordon Ramsay or something, chasing him around.
Yeah, I like to think you're actually getting hunted down, like by some cannibals or something like that.
But then again, it's on the Wii, so probably not.
Funny. Hey, there's been some graphic games on the Wii. I mean, like Mad World, like No More Heroes, Cook or Be Cooked. I like that. Same day, November the 3rd. Why the Backyardigans?
I left this on because I thought we seem to have had a lot of like random
backyard games. I know what you mean. Thinking about it, like backyard football, or backyard sports.
It wasn't the one that was like backyard Black history.
Culture, like
football.
backyard.
I was like,
black football.
I was like, what the okay, fair
what
enough.
A very odd specific game. Backyardigans. What does that sound like to you? Does it just sound like some shenanigans happening in the backyard?
Well, it come to the Nintendo DS, PS3, Wii, and 360, so it can't have been
too bad.
It can't have been that bad, but let's have a quick search. The Backyardigans.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm waiting for anticipated breath.
That is not what I expected at all.
Go on.
It's actually a TV series.
Oh, is it?
But it's like it's like CBBS Kids preschool.
That explains it.
Look at it.
It looks like a fucking rip-off of Pingu and Friends.
Yeah, that's not what I expected.
That is not. I was expecting some kind of like wrestling in the backyard kind of thing. Oh man, yeah.
Honestly, some of the shit that's on TV that they won't make games of.
I know.
And
then you get shit like this. That gets greenlit. Oh man. Moving on. Sorry. November 3rd, Dragon Age Origins. Oh man, what a game that was. Like BioWare had it so right. They basically looked at Baldur's Gate and thought, right, let's make this a more modern kind of role-playing game, and they did. It was like a very 3D, high-produced, like voice-acted game, but with all like similar elements to like pause and click kind of combat and stuff like that, and like choices to like Baldur's Gate had.
Yeah.
And like Dragon Age Origins is one of the few like big role-playing games that I played that I've actually played about completed like 2 or 3 times. Once, obviously, when I first got the game. A second time, because I got the first time I got it on 360. And then I got my PC, and I bought that because it was on sale, and I played it all the way through it again on PC because, superior master PC race and all that. Yeah, and then I played it again for the 3rd time because when Dragon Age 2 was announced, it said that it did like what Mass Effect did, where it's like all your choices in Dragon Age 1 would be carried on to the second one. So I thought, right, I know everything that happens in Dragon Age Origins, so I'll do it and try and get like the best possible options for everything. So I played through it like 3 whole times. But they got Dragon Age Origins so right, and then the second one was a big steaming pile of shit.
Interesting.
I feel like what they did was...
Sorry, I've never played any, so it's all on you.
This is all me, guys. I think what they did was that, because before the second Dragon Age came out, Mass Effect 2 would come out. And as you know, because you played Mass Effect, haven't you?
Yes.
They made Mass Effect 2 a lot more like action based, like compared to the first one. And as we know, Mass Effect 2 got fucking ranting and raving reviews, didn't it?
Yeah,
it sold so much. I feel like what they did was they went, oh right, so clearly people want a more action oriented like RPG. So they thought, okay, let's do the exact same thing with Dragon Age 2. And that's how it felt. It felt so limited in like because in Origins you got to pick what race you were, so either like a human, elf, or a dwarf, and like the story reflected like what race you picked.
Yeah.
But in the second one, you can only pick a human, and like your character was fully voiced as well. So in the first one, your character didn't have a voice, so you had like a much more wide range of options, like similar to like Outer World where you don't speak.
Yeah.
So you got like a much more broad range of like options that you can reply with. But because your character was voiced in the second one, your options felt a lot more limited. And they had the again, going back to Outer Worlds, you actually could see what you could say, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So actually, what you saw there to say, that's actually what you said. But in Dragon Age 2, they actually had that Mass Effect approach where it's kind of like, what's it called, a dialogue wheel, and it had like a general response of what you could pick. But when you picked it, your character didn't actually say what was written, so you could end up not saying what you didn't want to say, and it was bollocks. Like, story was still good, but everything, it just felt so much like toned down and dull compared to the first one. And then they released Dragon Age Inquisition, which was good. It was better than the second one. Like, it felt a lot more closer to the first one, but again, it just kind of lives in the first one's shadow.
Yeah.
So BioWare, if you finish like, fucking around with like Anthem and stuff like that,
they're making a new.
I know they are, yeah, but yeah, if you finish fucking around with Anthem and shit like that, then please just take Dragon Age Origins and just make another game similar to that, please.
Have you seen the new info about Anthem?
Oh, they're basically remaking it all, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Something like that can work. I mean, if you look at Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO version, that was a load of shit when it first came out. But they did the big move of basically doing a story where everything got destroyed. Yeah. So they could basically remake the entire game from the ground up. And it worked for them because now Final Fantasy XIV is like the second most played MMO in the world.
The problem with that, well, the difference is it's Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's got a massive following. It's got a massive history. This is Anthem.
Yeah, this is a new IP.
It's a brand new IP.
That's not even been. I don't even think it's been out for a year.
Yeah, it's been ripped apart already.
Yeah,
I guarantee those servers are fucking dead.
Easy.
Do you know what I mean? No one gives a shit.
No.
Like I saw that article about them remaking it or basically fucking doing it in passing, and I've not seen anybody talk about it.
No.
I've not seen anybody excited.
The only thing you can say about Anthem at this point, like, because obviously it's not got a big following, you can't say it's like it's a BioWare game anymore, because being a BioWare game doesn't mean shit these days. Back in the day when it was like the height of like, Mass Effect and Dragon Age, saying that it's a BioWare game, it's like, oh yeah, it's definitely going to be good, it's going to be brilliant, but
doesn't mean anything.
These days it doesn't mean shit now.
No, worst thing they did was fucking just.
I don't understand why they wanted to make it a looter shooter. If they kept it like a single player, I reckon it would have been quite good. But because of all these bullshit like looter shooter elements into it,
the thing is, if they do remaking it, it does end up being good. So they do a big update next year or however they're going to do it.
Yeah,
DLC or whatever, probably more likely. Then the new console will come out at the end of the year. Are they going to port it onto the next gen? Are they just going to leave it dead?
I don't know. It's a very odd situation. I mean, it's a bold choice to do, but it feels kind of pointless at this point.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, moving on, sorry.
That's one thing we missed off, the Outer Worlds on the recap. What we've been up to. You played it, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been playing it, yeah. I've not been playing it as much since I got Star Wars.
We didn't talk about it, just saying. It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good, great game. Moving on. November 4th, Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier came out on the PS2 and PSP. Lost Frontier is not the racing one, is it? It's like a little.
Remember this one?
I can't.
But PS2 and PSP. So, but obviously this is a PS3 and 360
era, yeah.
So, which one's this?
I don't think it was a racing one. I think Lost Frontier was. It's not that one where you play as Daxter, is it?
No,
just Daxter.
Just Daxter.
Just Daxter, right? I can't remember this one. I don't know why, because I actually love Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, same. But I've left it on because I thought...
Yeah. No, I've got nothing to say about this, unfortunately. Other than that, the Jak and Daxter series as a whole is actually pretty good.
Yeah. They need to redo that one.
Oh,
they've done Ratchet, they've done...
Have they done HD
Crash,
remakes?
Done Spyro,
oh, they have, haven't they?
Yeah. They've done pretty much everything now. Come on, get on with Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, that's the next one you need to be focused on. Or Sly, is it Sly?
They did re-release them, didn't they, with Uncharted 4, was it?
Yeah, they've done like HD like updates, but not like proper remakes like they've done with Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and Medieval. Yeah. That's another game I've been playing for my Halloween game of choice. I actually got Medieval.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Yeah,
I actually enjoy it. Yeah. Like it's really funny, like fun game.
I remember playing it a little bit when it was originally out, but it was never one of the big ones.
No,
I got into. So
think I mentioned it. I might have done or not, but Medieval was. I remember getting like a demo disc in like a magazine back in the day when we didn't have the internet or anything, and that's how you got demos.
Yeah.
I remember like it had like a trailer on it for Medieval, and I remember seeing it, and I must have watched it loads of times. I remember asking my parents, "Can you get this for me, please?" But they watched the trailer and it had like images of like people freaking getting cut up and stuff like that. It's like, oh no, you can't have that. So I never got it until like 20 odd years later. But it is good. It's good. But yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into that. Same day. It's November 4th, same day. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, the Ultimate Sith Edition. I really enjoyed The Force Unleashed. Did you ever play that?
Well, this is just technically the game.
Yeah, it's basically with like it came with like the two little side-ons.
So it's a bit of a cheat. It's not really 10 years old.
Yeah, it's just that version. But yeah, I really enjoyed Force Unleashed. Never played the second because I heard not great things about it, but the first one was really good.
Yeah, I think I only played like the demo of it when it came out, and I did enjoy it. I just never played.
It is basically it's basically like Force Unleashed is basically like if they took God of War and made it into like a Star Wars game.
I only ever remember hearing praise, or still now praise about it, and it just blows my mind that just make a new Force Unleashed.
I know. I think it's because the second one didn't do as well as they hoped.
Oh, do it now.
Do it now, yeah. I know Star Wars is at like an all-time high now. Problem is they're probably just going to look at the Fallen Order that's just come out recently and just make more games like that.
I just can't believe how much Star Wars stuff's coming out at the minute.
I know.
Obviously, we've got the game, we've got the TV series, we've got the film.
You got even more stuff coming up.
Honestly, Disney need to fuck off. Next up, November the 8th, Shaun White Snowboarding World Stage.
It's basically Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but
Shaun White.
But it was Shaun White and snowboarding. And apparently it's on a world stage.
But it's only on the Wii, so.
But it's only on the Wii, so great motion controls.
I bet it is, innit?
Yeah.
I bet you're on the board, the fit board thing.
Oh, that'd actually be quite good. That.
I bet that is. Yeah, I bet that's what it is.
It might be actually. Oh. I bet that'd be pretty cool. Actually.
Oh, never won it.
Imagine the amount of people who must have gone like flying off the board just trying to do some stupid tricks on that.
Doing a friggin' I can't remember.
Trying to do like a 360 spin onto like a rail grind or something like that.
I was going to say a kickflip, but you can't do a kickflip on a snowboard.
No. Sorry, moving on. November 10th, another big one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Man, how much did we freaking play that when it first came out on the PS3?
This was the last Call of Duty where it kind of like the straw broke the camel's back for me. And even though I absolutely played it to death,
we did. Like we must have tanned the multiplayer on that. We both planned it, didn't we?
Platinum this one. Yeah,
I remember doing one really hard mission, like one of the co-op things with you, trying to get one achievement, a trophy. And oh man, it was good times. I enjoyed it, but I
absolutely love it.
But like you just said, it for me, Modern Warfare 2 was like the last like proper Call of Duty game I got into.
Yeah, even with the first Modern Warfare, I was like, this is getting stale now. Obviously, Modern Warfare 2, it was still like, oh, it is absolutely brilliant. But like I said, it was the one where I was like, I've had enough now. And I don't think I've ever really played any since then. No, I've not. But I was really into Call of Duty 3 before it kind of like blew up. With
Modern Warfare 3? Or...
No.
Right, the proper first ones, right,
3.
Okay.
And then it blew up with Modern Warfare, didn't it?
Yes.
So I was kind of like, not to be like, I was on a hipster fucking thing, but I kind of already had my fix of it with the originals as well, so it burnt out faster for me than I suppose than most people.
Modern Warfare 2 was the one with the airport scene, wasn't it?
I believe
that was all kinds of fucking controversy and all kinds going on.
Yeah.
Like that's what really put video games as like a negative light that at the time, along with like GTA and stuff like that.
I do want to play the new one. Still not played it yet, but I've heard nothing but only for the story.
Yeah.
I can't be asked with the online.
No,
not got time for that. But I've heard the story is actually brilliant. So I'll probably pick that up at some point when it's
cheaper.
Yeah. I don't want to pay full price for a COD game
especially just to play the story.
Exactly. The highlight is always the online, and they really should segment it. They should give people the option, because I know loads of people
didn't they do that with the third one? I might be wrong.
I can't remember.
Like, I feel like they've done something similar with like one of the Call of Duty games.
Call of Duty 3 was the best online Call of Duty. Just saying.
Moving on, same day, November 10th, Dragon Ball Z Raging Blast for the PS3 and 360. I can't remember. There's always two different kinds of Dragon Ball Z games. There's one that's just like a typical side, like 2D side, very Street Fighter-esque kind of fighting game.
Yeah.
And then there's like the 3D, more open, like destructible environment kind of one, but they're always a bit shit at once, in my opinion.
I wouldn't even know. Between,
I don't think you know anything about Dragon Ball Z apart from the it's over 9,000 meme.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But oh man, I used to fucking watch the shit. It's when did you just go to see about his power level? God, just taking me back to our college days where all we used to talk about was stupid shit like that. Never anything important like college work or anything like that.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on, Hot Wheels Battle Force 5 come to the Nintendo DS, PS3, Wii, and 360.
Am I right in thinking that this sounds a bit like what's that car fighting game called on the PlayStation?
Destruction Derby.
No, not Destruction Derby.
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal. Am I right in thinking this is a kind of like Twisted Metal-esque kind of game?
I have no idea, but now you just said that with a Hot Wheels theme to it. Oh my god, I want it. Obviously, they did the Hot Wheels Forza, didn't they?
I know,
Did you ever play that?
Hot Wheels...
the Hot Wheels DLC on Forza.
I've not, no.
Oh, I got it, so I had Forza Horizon 3. I'm not bothered with any of them since, but it was really good. Like, literally life-size friggin' Hot Wheels tracks and stuff. It was actually
That does actually
brilliant.
sound pretty good. I don't actually know anything about this battle. I'm actually... Oh, my phone's on the floor, never mind. Quick, Tim, do a quick review.
Oh.
And while we're just waiting for Tim, I'm going to do a little ASMR for you guys.
Hot Wheels.
Do you like it?
Battle Force 5.
Your ears like that? So I'm going to stop.
It's fuck's sake. It's another TV series.
Oh, never mind then.
So it's a thing based on the TV series. So
Never mind then. I've instantly lost interest.
yeah, I've got a screenshot. It looks.
I really want to talk about this next game.
Right, go.
November 10th, same day as all these last three games. Jonas. Am I right in thinking, is this a fucking Jonas Brothers game?
I doubt it.
It's on the Nintendo DS though.
Yeah, I left this on for one reason. From the sheet I've printed for you, can you tell me what is different about Jonas than all the other
No,
titles?
it's not in Bloom and it didn't have like its own dedicated wiki page.
Exactly. I have never seen a game so far not have a link, a hyperlink to anything else. I literally nothing.
Researching, what is it to? I really want it to be a Jonas Brothers game. I don't know why I want it to be a Jonas Brothers game. I just like to think that having a game dedicated solely to the Jonas Brothers is like a really cool idea.
Who are the Jonas Brothers?
They're like a band of like three brothers. They started off on like very like Disney Channel like as programs, but then they kind of like came like their own like independent band kind of thing. My girlfriend loves them to bits.
Oh, adverts, YouTube. Thanks. I need YouTube Premium.
No, you don't.
I kind of do though.
Just get ad blocker like I do
on my phone.
Yes. Oh, no, I'm joking.
It says Jonas Nintendo DS gameplay playing the drums. So
it's gonna be a Jonas Brothers then. Oh man, I might have to get that.
I don't think it is. Oh wait, what are the names?
Oh, it's like Nick Jonas.
Oh, it said Nick then.
Oh, there you go. There's a Jonas Brothers game.
Oh
yes.
My God. Look at it. It looks like absolute
that
gash.
looks fucking cool.
Oh no, play drums. Drum game.
Okay.
Here it is. This is your sound.
Why did we pick this game? Are we going to get copyrighted for playing this?
Yeah, let's turn that off. I think you were like 30 seconds or something like that.
Oh man, all this shit we've been looking at. Oh yeah, should we play Modern Warfare 2 on Dragon Age? It should have been all over Jonas. Christ.
I bet you can't find it anywhere.
You probably can't. I bet even if you're looking like CEX and stuff like that, you won't find it.
I find it hilarious that somebody bought that.
I want to look on like Amazon or something or eBay. I bet it's something like 50 quid or something. Oh man, moving on. Sorry, November 12th, Dance Revolution, the hottest party 3. I was like, if there was a hottest party 1 and 2, like how are they not technically the hottest anymore? Have we got an even hotter party?
Yeah.
So shouldn't it really be called the Dance Revolution, the hotter party?
I don't think that flows as easy off the tongue, but yeah.
Yeah, Dance Dance Revolution. It's I mean, you all know what Dance Dance Revolution is. It's basically, a rhythm game, but you play it with your feet or your hands if you're feeling, spunky. If you feel like being a silly goose.
Do they still make dance mats? for current.
I have
consoles.
no idea. They don't make like Guitar
I
Hero
suppose
stuff
there's no
anymore.
point because it's the Just Dance in it, which is off the camera. And
Yeah, like Just Dance. Yeah, that's the big ones now. Like you don't
Yeah.
you really need
rolling
anymore.
roll
no.
out your carpet and
So just let me get my game mat out. Even like obviously the arcade ones work, but I remember playing like a home based version.
I had
I felt
one,
like
yeah.
the mat never worked
mine. I had one. It was always good.
because it was like it felt like such like a flat bit of material, didn't it?
The thing is, it's one of them where you always remember the soundtrack. Whenever you hear a song, you think, "Oh, that's from that game." Like
Yeah.
Radio Kill
Kill
the
the
Rick. That one was always on it, and I just remember every time I hear that song, I think of it. Anyway, moving on. November the 15th, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. So it's not new. It's just new to the Wii,
It's I know what you mean.
but it's the same old Super Mario Bros.
It's basically Super Mario Bros, but it was on the Wii with their fancy motion controls. And
Why is there a reason they always say new?
just to let you know how new the game is.
But they're still called new, but technically they're not new.
I don't know. They always make $1 billion, so
Yeah,
they're
there you
doing
go.
something right.
Yep. It's like when you look through the TV guide and it says new on a new program. And it's like, well, yeah. Thanks.
November 17th. Oh my god. Lego Indiana Jones 2 The Adventure continues for the Wii, 360, PS3, Nintendo DS, PSP, and Windows PC.
Lego
Yeah,
games.
it's Lego games.
They're always good.
Indiana Jones, they're always a laugh, especially with like co-op.
I'm looking forward to the new Star Wars one. After how much shit we've just been giving Star Wars for
I
having
know,
too much
God,
stuff.
is this a fucking Star Wars podcast? This?
I'm definitely not educated enough for that.
Yeah, Lego games are it's always like loosely based on like the events of like the movie that they're about, but it's always like a very like silly, like wacky comedy kind of.
Yeah.
I remember like the Harry Potter ones, like the during like the serious moments, it's always like, oh, Voldemort just dropped his wand, the silly goose, stuff like that.
I'm going to try and play that with Kirsty. She's
The Harry Potter
She's
one.
obsessed with Harry Potter.
My girlfriend Charlotte's the same. Like she wants to play the Harry Potter Lego ones,
Yeah.
like the full like year 1 to 7 ones.
Yeah, yeah. Because they do it in a double pack now, don't they?
Mm.
So I'm gonna try and get that and play it. It's on PC, innit? It will be on PC.
Yeah, I've seen a
Yeah.
few Lego games. I've seen like the Batman, like Superman Lego games on
Yeah.
PC. So I imagine they have the Harry Potter ones
Yeah,
too.
I'm gonna get that.
Right, we need to get through this. Really, I feel like we spent too much time on this. All this came out on the same day, November 17th. God of War Collection PS3. That's the isn't that the? I want to say HD, but
It's 1 to 3. innit?
is it 1 to 3? Is it not 1? Because God of War 3 didn't come out not that long ago.
Oh,
did
sorry, no, 1 and 2.
It? I say it
From
would have
the
been 1 and
PS2.
2. Yeah. Possibly the PSP one.
No,
is it just
no,
1 and 2?
1 and
Right,
2.
okay.
Yeah, because this is when I jumped onto God of War.
Right,
Because
yeah.
I'd never played them, and then I got into it. For
I
this.
remember you wanting the platinum. I think it was the first one, and you couldn't do a certain area, like one of the challenges, and I ended up having to come over and do it for you.
You fucking what?
Yeah, I'm calling you out, Tim. What are you gonna fucking do?
Well, I still got it. And then I
yeah,
got
thanks
the
to
platinum
me
on the second one, and,
Yeah.
and the third one, and the new one.
and the new one. Yeah.
So suck it.
Oh,
I didn't ask your help for any of those other 3, did I?
no, but I'll always remember that first time. I remember receiving that phone call like, "Oh, can you come help me?" No, it wasn't quite like that. We're not going to mention that one. Little Big Planet. Oh,
The
mate.
PSP
Oh, the
though.
PSP version. Oh man.
Which was this?
Hmm?
Was this like its own little version for the PSP? It wasn't the original Little Big
No,
Planet,
I
was it?
think it was just its own little like micro version of
Yeah.
the first one. So it's like the little Big Planet. Or the little not so big planet.
Yeah. Micro Big Planet.
Yeah, just I mean, we mentioned Little Big Planet on here before. It's like a game where you could like basically the idea was you could create any level you wanted.
I miss it.
I do. I remember playing that one and the second one. I never played the third one.
The third one was good because they added a lot more to it. Different
Yeah.
characters that could do different things, like a little sack dog and
Not Sack Dog.
It was like I can't remember the actual name of it, but I think it was called Poochie or something like
It's
that.
like yeah, you could do so much.
Poochie the racking dog.
Poochie the racking dog. But yeah, you could do so much more with it. Yeah, there's a dog.
There was I can't remember, but I remember there was like 3 extra sack creations that they'd made, and they had different abilities.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that like the cover art. It's like Sackboy, like obviously from like all the previous ones at the front, and he's surrounded by like all these like little deformed looking like sack people.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Little Big Planet probably isn't going anywhere now because they're focusing more on dreams now, aren't
It's
they?
dead, yeah.
Which is a shame because it was great at the time. Moving on, November 17th, another big one, Assassin's Creed 2 for the PS3 and Xbox 360. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 was good. It's what really put Assassin's Creed, like, you know, at the place it is right now. Like, because the first one, it was okay.
It was just basic.
It was just, it was very repetitive.
Oh, really?
But the second one, my God, they fucking added a bit of this, like, okay, they want variety, we're going to give it to them. And like, it was great. The story.
I think I platinumed that as well.
Yeah, story, like just the amount of stuff you could do, like how you could go about assassinating people. They added so much more to that. Like, yeah, it was really good. Like, oh man,
Have they remastered 2?
Yes.
Have they? I thought
they've done not like a Crash Bandicoot Spiral,
just
kind
like
of
a
just like a
re-release.
HD like 4K remake. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have. They've done it with 3. I don't know. No, they would have done it for 4 because that came out with the PS4 as well. But yeah, Assassin's Creed 2, man, it was a really, really good game. And then we saved the best to last, November 23rd, Stoked Big Air Edition for the 360.
Are you stoked for it though?
Considering I've never heard of it, I don't feel like I'm stoked enough to to play it.
360 exclusive.
Now, Big Air Edition. What do you think that means? Do you think it was like a skateboarding game? Do you think it was a flying game?
I think it's just got a high density of fuck off.
Oh, just fucking short thing. Or Big Air. Do you think it was like some very? Do you think it meant you were flying like a Zeppelin or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I feel we cracked it.
You have to stoke you up.
Okay, enough of the fucking shit jokes. We're gonna throw that away.
All right, that's that. So that's it for this episode. If you like that, give us a like and leave us some stuff on Twitter or review on iTunes or wherever you want.
And if you liked it that much, you can carry on and listen to the second episode. The second part of this new format that we're trying.
Yeah.
Let us know how it goes. If you prefer it this way, if not, again, just tell us to stick to the originals.
Yeah, but we're just trying to cut it down. It's about an hour long this now so far, so then hopefully the next actual coverage of the game will be similar, between half an hour and an hour long.
So yeah, as always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.